you know what the best job in the world is? Because it's probably not what you think. Because you might think that it's the job that makes you the most money. And honestly, it's not. It's the job that gives you the most freedom. I want you to picture this. You wake up whenever you want, wherever you want. There's no dreary alarm, there's no cubicle. In fact, you don't even have to go to any office. Airbnb is your new HQ. And 1 week you may be skiing in the Swiss Alps, and the next week you decide that you want to go to a beach house in Malibu. But surely you have to work in order to make a living, right? Of course, but here's the thing. The best job in the world doesn't get you paid based on how many hours you put in. Otherwise, you'd never have time freedom. You are paid entirely based on the results that you produce. So the best job in the world that I'm about to discuss is the one that doesn't trade your time for money. And that means that you're in control of where you work, when you work, and even how much you work. And most importantly, you're in control of your ability to make money. Now, you might be thinking that I'm describing my life, but I'm not. In fact, I'm describing the life of one of my own employees, my copywriter. And that's why being a copywriter just might be the best job in the world. If you want more money, well, you simply write an email or an ad or a script. Frankly, you can write just about anything and make money off of it. A few hundred words and you've made a few $1,000s. Your life, your rules, your success. So let's break it down. What does it actually mean to be a copywriter? Now, by definition, copy is any form of written marketing material. But really, to me, it all boils down to one thing, which is storytelling. I'd even argue that copywriting is the true oldest profession. Because if you really think about it, what have humans done for hundreds, if not thousands of years? We have told stories that sell. And I don't even mean sell products. These stories may have sold an idea, a lesson, a tradition. And for thousands of years, we've told stories to achieve certain aims. And that's exactly what copywriting is too. It's telling a story that results in a sale. In fact, copywriting is essentially sales to the masses, or salesmanship in words. So now that you understand what copywriting actually means, let me go ahead and give you the 3 reasons why copywriting is the best job ever and tell you how you can start making money with copywriting ASAP. Now, the limiting factor of sales is that you sell to one person at a time. That means there's actually a limit as to how much you can do. And there's a limit to how much you can sell because there are only 24 hours in a day and you can only fit so many calls into one day. Whereas copywriting totally shatters those barriers. And that's because copywriting has something sales doesn't, and that's scale. I mean, imagine if you could sell to 1,000 people in 1 hour or 10,000 or 100,000, even millions of people. Well, with copywriting, you can. Because with one email or one video, you can reach hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people. And that results in a ton of sales. And that's why copywriters are paid as well as they are, because they can achieve a level of scale that sales reps simply cannot. And let me go ahead and give you an example. I could spend 30 minutes writing an email pitching a product and send it to 100,000 people, which would result in no less than $100,000 worth of sales. And let's say it was a $1,500 product. It would take even the best sales rep a whole week to get that kind of money in sales. Yet a copywriter is able to do it in a matter of 20, 30 minutes, or maybe even an hour. Now imagine you could do that 4 times in a month. You would have generated one business an extra $400,000 in sales that they wouldn't have otherwise had. And you do that for a handful of clients and you can see that the numbers get pretty big pretty quickly. And that's only possible because of the scale of copywriting. I mean, honestly, the amount of money businesses can make off of simple emails never fails to surprise me. Now you might say, but email is dead. And now it's all about short form content. Well, there's 2 main problems with that. The first is that email will never die. And number 2, who do you think scripts short form content? That's right, copywriters. And the best part is that in today's age, you often don't even need to do the bulk of the work yourself because you can simply use AI to do it for you. But I'm gonna show you how to actually implement that a little later in the video. So now it should be pretty clear why companies pay copywriters. It's the same reason why they pay salespeople, because you earn them more money than you cost them and get sales they wouldn't have otherwise gotten, just at a way larger scale. But sales reps are paid on commission. So how about copywriters? And the answer is, it kind of depends. You see, there are three main types of copywriters. There's employees, there's freelancers, and there's agencies. And becoming an employed copywriter is the easiest route to start making money with copywriting. In this role, you can easily start making $50,000 a year starting base just to get some money in the bank. Now, obviously, as an employee, you'll be paid monthly. Now, the next step in a copywriter's career is as a freelancer. Now, you can either charge your clients monthly, or you can charge them a percentage of the profits that you generate. And this starts looking much more similar to a sales rep, and this is where most people should aim to be. Because with just a few clients, you can very simply make a six-figure income. Now, the final stage is a copywriting agency. And this is where people can start to really scale and take on a lot of clients. Now, I've seen people in all of these positions, and it really just boils down to what kind of life do you want. Now, you also need to realize that email and short form are just two examples of how copywriters can make money. There are literally dozens of ways to monetize copywriting. And I'll get to a few more in the video. And I'm also going to spend a good chunk of time going through one of our programs on copywriting, which is Pen to Profit. You see, Pen to Profit is one of Educate's flagship programs, and it's actually taught by the best copywriter that I've ever had the honor of meeting. The guy who's now my CMO, Luis Berger. I mean, I can rely on him to write me words that will generate me literally tens of millions of dollars. So from that, I guess you can kind of presume he's compensated very handsomely for that. Now, like I said in the previous video, if the message is compelling, the money just flows. I mean, really just think about this. You simply write some words and then magically transform them into money. I mean, it's almost like having your own money printing machine. And that brings me to the next point as to why copywriting is the best job in the world. The beauty of copywriting, and really what makes it the best job in the world, is the freedom it enables you to have. Copywriting is perhaps the only job where you don't need to trade time for money. I mean, think about it. You could spend a few hours writing a 20-minute VSL and it could pay you enough to live for months. And I'm telling you that because I've been paid upwards of $30,000 to write one single VSL for a client. Now, if you don't know what a VSL is, it stands for a video sales letter. It's essentially a video that pitches a product or a service. VSLs are another service that you can monetize as a copywriter. And the amazing thing about VSLs is that so few people actually know how to do them effectively. You see, there's tons of information out there on copywriting. After all, it's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. The issue is that there's so much information that it's almost impossible to navigate it. I mean, it's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack, to be honest, because most of the information around copywriting is simply useless hay. You only really need to understand a few simple fundamentals to get started. You know, just like a geologist differentiating between a common rock and a precious metal, it can be very difficult to realize what information is worth it and what isn't. That's really why it's so important to have the right tools and the right help when starting out. Otherwise, you're gonna spend months fiddling through useless information that not only won't help you, but could actually hurt you in your journey. And that really brings me to the final reason why copywriting is the best job ever. And that's because almost anyone can get started. Now, I know that you may have some false preconceptions about copywriting. And honestly, I don't blame you. A lot of people do. Most people think that you need to have perfect grammar or be a naturally born writer in order to be good at copywriting. But honestly, that couldn't be further from the truth. And for those small mistakes and writing ambiguities, you can just use tools like Grammarly to help you out. I mean, listen, the fact of the matter is that copywriting is nothing like English class. And being good at writing in the traditional academic sense often works against you in copywriting. I mean, take it from me. I dropped out of high school and the best copywriter I know isn't even a native English speaker. He's Brazilian, so believe me when I tell you that fancy sentence structure and advanced vocabulary will get you nowhere in copywriting. Quite the opposite, actually, because the best copy is simple. It's clear, it's straight to the point, and it's always concise. If a word doesn't serve a purpose, it's unnecessary. Good copy removes all the fluff, and all that you're left with is the raw emotion, and that's what drives the sale forward. In fact, there's another huge misconception that good copy and good marketing has to be over the top and super eye-catching. And that's not necessarily true at all. You see, in today's day and age, a lot of marketing has been confused with branding. The two serve a very different purpose. And people will often talk about how amazing the Super Bowl commercials are because they're just so creative and have such big productions. But the truth is, the best marketing and the best copy is often very simple. So simple that you don't even realize you're being sold. So I want you to get the idea that marketing needs to be complicated out of your head. I mean, you can even look at the emails that I send out. There are no fancy templates. There's no fancy fonts or images. It's just plain black text on a white background. The power is always in the messaging, not the fancy template you spend 5 hours designing. The goal of marketing is simple: to sell. So it's your copy to employ whatever medium sells the best. And more often than not, it's the simple stuff. And that's why I'm such a strong advocate of copywriting, because anyone can get super good at it by simply following the frameworks that we teach and educate. You don't need any prior experience, and you may be thinking to yourself, but how can I write good copy if I'm not creative? Well, back in the day, creativity was the hallmark of copywriting. Just look at some of the old Porsche ads and how creative they were. I mean, listen, back when these were made decades ago, creativity truly was a cornerstone of copywriting. So does that mean that you can't be a good copywriter if you're not creative? Not at all. I mean, I'm definitely not the most creative person, and let me show you a few headlines that I came up with. Porsche, turning more heads per mile than any supermodel. Fuel efficient? Maybe not. Jealous neighbors? Absolutely. Turns more corners than a politician in election year. Some pretty interesting headlines, right? Well, here's the catch. I didn't actually come up with any of those. I just asked GPT-4 to do it for me, and it did. Right off the bat, you see, you have an advantage that no other copywriter has ever had in the past. You have an endless resource of ideas that you can tap into whenever you want. That means that you can literally outsource creativity to an extent that has never been possible before. So you don't need to have perfect grammar or be a natural born writer to be an excellent copywriter. And like I just proved, you certainly don't need to be creative. All you have to do is understand the frameworks that underpin copywriting. And that is precisely what we teach you inside of Educate's Pen to Profit program. And we also show you a ton of other ways that you can leverage AI to make both your copy stand out, but also to streamline your entire process and work less. And when these AI tools rolled around, a lot of people thought that copywriting was dead, but they're wrong. Because copywriting has never been more alive. Because the best copywriters are the ones that now use AI tools to their advantage. And really the only thing that AI has done in copywriting is really widen the gap between the good and the great copywriters. You see, AI may replace some copywriters, but not the great ones. The great ones know how to stay ahead of the curve. And that's exactly what we teach in Pen to Profit. And at this point, you may be wondering what exactly you'll learn in Pen to Profit. The program consists of several phases and takes you through everything you need to know when it comes to copywriting and how to actually go ahead and monetize it. It's made for you to go from absolutely ground zero to being able to get a 6-figure income in simply a matter of months. Now, I want to be very clear here. Copywriting is not easy, but it is simple. And it most certainly is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a hard skill in life that serves you as an asset. And just with any skill, it takes practice to get really good. But what we've done is cut through all of the BS and given you everything you need to know to get started. That means that you will learn the principles of copywriting. What makes good copy? How to set up email campaigns, and of course, the most important part, how to make money with copywriting. That means that we show you how to go through the 3 steps of every copywriter's journey. And as you get better at copywriting, we'll show you how to actually go ahead and level up your income. And that, my friend, is why copywriting is the best job in the world, because you'll no longer have to trade your time for money. The better you get, the more money you make. So, how do you actually make money with copywriting? Well, listen, there are dozens of ways to frame your copywriting service. Everything from short-form scripting of ads to emails and etc. And we actually cover all of those in Educate's Pen to Profit program. And once you've chosen your vehicle, let's say it's emails, there are really 3 ways to monetize this. You can be an employee, and we'll show you exactly how to get a job in copywriting and be the best at it. You can be a freelancer and work with several clients, and we're gonna show you exactly how to get those clients. In fact, that's kind of our specialty already with our other program that you get inside of Educate, Agency Navigator. I mean, just look at Phil, who signed his first paying client 9 days after starting outreach, or John, who signed 3 clients in 3 days and said, perfect your outreach and the money will come rolling in. And thirdly, you can scale that to an agency, like thousands of people just like you have done in our program, and start pulling in multiple $10,000 months. Now, here's the best part. Every student that joins Educate, irrespective of the program, gets their very own coach. And we actually call them the Student Success Concierges. Their entire job is literally to make sure that you succeed. In practice, that means that you're gonna have one-on-one calls with them where they help you with everything you need. These coaches are the top of the game. I mean, just think about it. We've already had over 20,000 students go through the program. So our coaches know exactly what works and what doesn't. And that can save you months, if not years, of banging your head against the wall. They always know the newest and best outreach methods to get clients and what other trends are working. And that alone is already worth thousands of dollars, but more than anything, they keep you accountable. You see, the biggest problem isn't actually the information. The information is out there, but it's very hard to distill the good from the bad. But more than anything, you need access to the right people. You need access to the people that will hold you to your word and push you towards success. Now, once you join Educate, you'll also have access to 5 weekly coaching calls with experts in their fields. And these people are genuinely at the top of their field. I mean, we're talking about multiple 7-figure entrepreneurs, and you'll be able to ask them questions live on call every single week. You see, our goal is to guide you towards success, and that's why we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month to give you access to the people that can help you do that. And that's really why we offer you such top tier service. You'll remember that I told you last time that I had just chatted with my lead SSC, and he'd proudly told me that every single student that had worked with him over the space of the last 6 months had started making money. And yet, tens of thousands of people pay $250,000 to go to college and still end up unemployed. That's because college was never meant to be results oriented, whereas results are the only thing that matters to us. So now you might be thinking, oh, well, you're gonna charge $250,000 at colleges. And honestly, we could, but I could never do that because the whole point is to make Educate and Pen to Profit that comes included in it as accessible as humanly possible. We don't even charge 1/10 of that. In fact, we don't even charge 1/100th of that. Normally, we charge $1,500 for just one of our programs, Agency Navigator, and we've had 20,000 people purchase that program. But today, you're gonna get access to all 3 of our flagship programs, including Pen to Profit, for only $995. Now, if you don't know what other programs we offer, just go ahead and check out the last video that I posted. Now, here's what's crazy. We have a lot of plans for Educate, and we plan on dropping a new program every 4 to 6 months, all of which will be included in the $995. Now, some of you guys may be thinking, what if I join and realize that it's just not for me? No problem at all. That is why we have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So you can join, you can watch all the content, absorb all of the information, and then simply ask for a refund on the 13th day. And you will get it, no questions asked. I mean, imagine if you go to your college classes for 13 days and then ask for a refund. They'd simply laugh at your face and then laugh you out the room. At Educate, we will never be like that. And better still, for some of you, you don't even need to pay the full amount today. I had to move mountains to make this happen, but we've partnered with a certain few key players. And this only applies in certain countries and if you have a solid credit score. But you can get started today and get full access to everything by just paying $250 today and pay the rest in 4 installments through Klarna, PayPal, or Afterpay, as I said, if these are available in your country. So that means that for $250, you can literally learn the very skills that will uproot and transform the entire trajectory of your life. And the crazy part is, one copywriting gig will literally pay off the entire $995 investment, and you'll still be left with all the resources and skill. I mean, just look at John, who I mentioned earlier. He signed his first agency client after 2 weeks of outreach, for $1,500 profit, which back at that time paid for the entire cost of Agency Navigator. And with copywriting services, you can even command higher prices. In fact, we're so confident that you'll be able to make money after taking the program that we're pausing the $45 subscription for the first 6 months. You don't need to pay it. That means that you only start paying the $45 per month after 6 months. I mean, think about this. In college, you would never get this level of personalized support for $250,000, let alone the $45 a month we charge after the first 6 months. And you may also remember that the sooner you join Educate, the greater your chances are of being selected as the winner for the giveaway. Now, if you don't already know, I'm gonna be flying out one lucky winner to spend 3 days with me here in Dubai. All expenses paid, of course. The winner will get a complete and unfiltered look into my life and my business. We will do all sorts of fun things and we'll get deep into the nuances of business and the keys that have led me to tens of millions of dollars by the age of 23. And this offer is not going to last long. In fact, I'm not sure how long it will last at all. Because before we launched Educate, we decided that there's only a limited amount of students that we can take on, so that way we can service them to the highest quality possible. And that's really because of the personalized nature of Educate. As I said, we can only let in a certain amount of people at one time. So if you want to participate in the giveaway and join Educate, you're going to need to act quickly. Honestly, this offer could last a couple more hours, it could last a day, or it could last a week. It really all depends on how quickly the spots fill up. So I suggest you act now. So in the description of this video, you're gonna find the link to join Educate through our site, educate.io. So be quick, because honestly, I've never done a giveaway like this before, and I'll probably never do it again. So this is quite literally a once in a lifetime opportunity. Look, at Educate, we're here to transform the education system. And that's why I go to such lengths to give you all the tools necessary you need to succeed. Listen, I've already made my money. I don't need to do this. I started my first business at the age of 14 and had my first $1 million in the bank by 18. You know, I could have retired years ago like many of my friends told me to do. But I do this because I genuinely want to see a change in the education system, because I've seen tens of thousands of people waste $250,000 on a degree that can't even get them a job. That is why I'm doing this. And that's why I take a large portion of our profits from Educate and I've used them to build schools in Nepal over the space of the last 4 years. That's why we have a team of over 75 employees, full-time employees, to make this happen. It's all for the mission. And we are all united in the mission to transform your life, as we've already transformed thousands of other lives. Just realize that 20,000 people have already gone through our program, and all of the ones who follow the steps and work with the SSCs end up making money. Even one of our coaches, a 7-figure entrepreneur by the name of John Danes, he used to be a student of ours. That's why we do what we do. But at the end of the day, I can only give you the tools that you need to succeed. I can't do the work for you. Only you can do that. So it really boils down to how you want to live your life, because it's your life. So you can live as though you own it and be your own master, or you can continue to live in ignorance of everything you could have become. My job is simply to give you the opportunity to do more. Whether you take it or leave it, well, that's up to you. Regardless, I'm here to help you along the way. And as always, I'll be watching from afar and rooting for you.